Hello, everyone. Welcome to Small Biz Tips. So, I think about a month or so, I had a chance to meet with this gentleman. I was so impressed about everything he got going on in the digital marketing space. I said, you know what? I got to get him on the podcast. What's going on, Jay?
How you doing, Gilbert? It's nice to meet you, man.
Likewise, man. Thanks for jumping on. Appreciate you, man. So, before we go deep in terms of all the cool things you got going on, who is Jay?
So I am a creative. I create in all mediums at the highest level. And I have to correct myself. I said nice to meet you. It's good to be here today. It's my apology. Um no, but I create at the highest level in all mediums, whether that's fashion,
Mm.
production, content. We're filming a new docu-series next week. Um, I create businesses
Okay.
for a living, and we help other businesses who lack brand solve that problem.
Mm. Okay, I want to go a little bit further, right? Because you said you help other businesses who lack brands solve that problem. In your opinion, right? What exactly is a brand? What is branding overall? Because we hear that term a lot, especially small business owners, but they really don't fully understand it, and they start using it, but they don't really know what they're saying. Kind of break down, you've been in a space. What is branding overall?
Yeah, so the coin for the company I use is many businesses are companies. Most companies lack brand.
Okay.
And that's to say, you can have a product and people and meetings and
Mm-hmm.
service and not have that key thing that ties it together to give it to people, and that's brand. I think brand is the feeling that people walk away with after they've
Mm,
interacted with you or whatever you have to offer in as few words as possible. Yeah.
nice. Now I like that because it's really about the experience. You're looking at Nike or Starbucks, right? These are all brands. So, okay. Now I like that. So let's go back, right? How'd you even get into this space? As a creative, you mentioned you in fashion, you had a few other businesses. Uh, Tell us about that. How'd you get started?
Yeah, so I actually was an athlete first. I wanted to play D1 baseball.
Okay.
And after my freshman year in the summer, I tore my rotator cuff and I had to kind of make a decision of doing sports
Mm-hmm.
or something else. I realized college wasn't really giving me the answers that I needed to create the lifestyle that I wanted long term. And so I needed to do something about that now. And it became just be as creative as possible. I started designing clothes, just like
Mm,
drawing on pieces of paper. I started going and taking pictures around New York and the city. I started like anything that I could do with my friends. Like there's a brand that somebody was
yeah.
starting. Hey, let me model for it. Like anything. And that turned into me learning how to drop ship, run
Yeah.
ads, and like all that type of stuff with Shopify. And I created my first e-commerce store and I called it Different. And
Huh.
it was at that time, a hand-picked assortment of a bunch of other products that I put on one page with Shopify, ran some Facebook ads. After I figured out how to like teach myself the skills involved in executing that, building websites, taking the pictures, I realized, oh, I could do this for other businesses and it's
Okay.
extremely valuable. So that's how all the dots connect.
Huh. Now I'm curious, right? Because a lot of the stuff you just said are all self-taught. Like, where'd you learn this? Were you like taking additional classes outside of school or just meeting people? How'd you learn all this stuff?
Yeah, so I'll say YouTube Academy, like YouTube teaches everything nowadays. And I was a finance and marketing major in college, and I feel like that was a complete waste of, I mean, it doesn't do anything. I got to just be in New York for a few years, which was
Yeah.
cool. But in terms of learning about money and finance, I paid 4 years for them to tell me EBIT is earnings before interest and tax, which is also on YouTube if you look for it.
Okay, so let's go deep into your businesses because I've seen you do amazing work. I've seen you do work with a lot of different uh, um, cool people that everybody will call them. Tell us more about that. Like, what are some of the projects you had a chance to work on? How'd you even get some of these projects?
Yeah. Um, so the coolest thing right now, I met LeBron James, and I that is really a manifestation. Like, I think that he, beyond being a great basketball player, he's one of my favorite leaders. I
Oh,
think he's a
wow.
great leader of teams of men, and I pay a lot of attention and try to educate myself on
Mm.
that. So getting a chance to meet him was kind of premeditated. I thought of, with like EBIT, oh, this is an idea of something that could help athletes. I always wanted to meet high level people but have something of value.
Yeah,
And so I always said, like, let me meet Elon, let me meet LeBron, let me
yeah.
meet Bernard Arnault. And I have the gems. Let me talk to them, and however many billions they have will double it off the creation. And yeah, so I got to go. They turned the whole Lakers training facility into an art gallery,
Okay.
and I met LeBron, and I had been talking to his company Spring Hill all year about this initiative I call Moneyball, which essentially treats athletes as businesses as opposed to
Mm.
employees, which has major implications
Are you able to
on
talk more about that or not?
sparingly.
Okay, okay, okay. We're gonna have a second episode. I want to hear more about that.
Yeah.
You said something about you wanting to meet guys like Elon, LeBron, and Bernard. Uh, a lot of people don't think like that in their 20s, right? So what sparked for you to start thinking like that and said, okay, I want to meet these people. I can bring value to them.
I know who I am,
Ooh,
and that's why
talk
I'm
more.
here.
Tell us
No,
more.
knowing who you are is one of the most important things. And why I am here is, it's no mistake. I told LeBron in his eye, you're chosen, I'm chosen. I'm here to give you this vision. If we do it together, we'll change the world. And I'll tell that to Elon, and I'll tell it to Bernard, and I'm not lying. What I'm wearing is cashmere gold cork kimono. It's like a new form of a suit for men. I'd love to talk to Bernard about it, and he'd probably love it just as much as LeBron did. And that's facts. If you watch yourself do the thing over time, you have no reason to question it anymore either. And at this point, I know through self discipline and experience, I'm the person that does the thing, and I just want to give it to everybody.
Wow. That you said something here. You know who you are. Um, not a lot of people figure that part out, and there could be in their 30s and their 40s, they're still trying to figure out who they are. Like, what happened to you? What was that catalyst, you may say, that got you to figure out, okay, I know exactly who I am?
It, I think, when I was young, I always felt like I was like different. And for the longest, from my dad and everyone else, it was always like being special
Mm-hmm.
was, it wasn't different. It was like you were trying to be better.
Okay.
And that's not what it is. And I didn't want it to be like a hubris or something. So I kind of shied away from it, from
Mm,
embracing like my individual vision and intuition.
yeah.
But as I got more rewarded for it, and I observed how unique it was compared to the people I was around, I had really no choice but to embrace it.
Wow, that's amazing. Let's go deep into your company, right? Because you have different businesses that you're running. What has been some of the lessons you've learned so far in business that you think other entrepreneurs can benefit from?
First, know who you are. That is the best advice, I think, for entrepreneurship. I think knowing what you are to the world before you start a company
Hmm.
makes it so the company you start isn't an exit. It's a game that you want to scale for everyone else. And yeah, if I just thought about it like, okay, I want to make this thing and then sell it and make money. The end goal of that is riches, not wealth.
Yeah.
And a lot of people strive for like the riches, and it's like, okay, you have 50 million, you have 50 billion. Now what? And what entrepreneurs lack is building for that what from day one, I
Hmm.
think. So that's what I do. I say, yeah, I know I'm the person, I do the thing. Billions come with it. This is what I do. And it can exist outside of like time and space. I'm going to just continue to do what I know I need to do. That gives you the that gives you the drive and the fire and the perspective, the self-discipline to go do the things that are necessary. Because if you just go into it like I want to make money and this is
Yeah.
how, that becomes fleeting from getting hit with life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Life doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Wow. So, right now, what is kind of like the most interesting project you're working on?
Next week, we are creating a new docu-series I call The Walk. I have a podcast myself, love podcasts, but they're static.
Mm,
Always two people sitting in the same place having a conversation. And so I thought, like, what is a new dynamic of that we could bring to this medium and really make it cool? And I thought inspirational conversations in the environments that inspire us.
mm,
The Walk.
okay.
So it's going to be me and another entrepreneur friend that I know. His name is Eamon Lauren. We're going to walk through New York and have a conversation. But Eamon owns a company called SDG that built, and for people who aren't in New York, you can look up some of the major places, but he built the Edge, a bunch of stuff in Hudson Yards. He built a
Oh, wow.
new Starbucks Reserve in the Empire State Building. He's building a
Wow.
new lookout on the top of the Rockefeller Center. And so I don't know if you can see or if it's just audio only, but we're basically gonna be at the top of some of these views in
Yeah,
the
I could
pictures
see
in the
them.
background. Yeah, so we're gonna be walking through there, having a conversation, and I call that the walk. That's our newest initiative. Each place that we go can be spliced into episodes potentially. I want to drop them as seasons,
Nice.
and yeah,
On
looking
YouTube?
forward to that. No, I want to go big. I would think
Yeah.
I have like a cinematographer and like a professional production
Yeah.
team ready to go for it, and I want to use the network at the highest level. I'd love to see it on like an Apple TV or
Okay.
sell it to Spring Hill as IP or something like that. You know what I'm thinking about actually is I just got the new iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I could use my photography skills as part of it, like just walking around the city.
Um,
I'm gonna take pictures, video, shot on iPhone, put me on Apple TV Plus. Thank you very much.
ooh, okay. That's the creative just coming in. I see that. Oh, wow. No, that's dope, man. I can't wait to see it when it comes out. That's gonna be nice. See, I like how creative you are and the way you think because it's different. No pun intended. And it really like you even got my juice flowing in terms of okay, that's really different than what everybody's doing right now. And being in that scenery and having these conversations, people feel like they're kind of like a fly on the wall or fly with you throughout the process. So I think that's exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. So how, if people want to work with you, right? Other entrepreneurs want to work with you, how do they get in touch? Like, what's the best way for them to reach out if they say, you know what, I want something different or I want to build a brand with my company?
Yeah. Tried to streamline it. If we just go to differentconsulting.com,
Mhm.
DYFRENT consulting.com. First button, as soon as you open the website, you can schedule a meeting to talk to us.
Nice. Fantastic. Guys, reach out to Jay. As you can see, he's really different. And thank you again for coming on, man. This was amazing.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Much love.
Good. Later, guys.